Hey everybody, Larry here, Mitchell's RCs, coming back at you with part 2 of the RJ Speed 24-inch dragster build. So let's get started here, guys. The paperwork's in. Our first step is to add this additional chassis piece to the top of the long piece right here. Using 4 of these screws and 4 of these nuts here that come in bag D, I believe, which I've already opened up. Yes, bag D1. So we'll get started on that. I'm going to use a little Loctite for this. Your screws go up through the bottom, guys, and your nuts are going to go on the top. Remember, don't tighten anything down, guys, so you at least get a few of them started, so you know that it's all centered. There's just 4 of these. They go 1 in each corner. These other holes that are in the chassis on the bottom here will be for something else. They'll be for these other brackets to hold the center back on. There we go. These little nuts, they start a little bit hard. I love these things, guys. Like I said, I love them. They're just like making a model. That's the fun part of it. And the satisfaction of, saying afterwards, hey, I built that. Parts are hard to pick up. Like I said before, guys, I love these little kits. They're a good way to start into the hobby, I think. Extra Loctite on here. Oh, that's only about these kind of tubes, guys. You tip them up, and they just dump right out. So I'm going to use this. Scoop up that excess. Right? Sorry if you guys hear that whining. That's my dog. He's in his kennel. He doesn't like being there, but he has to be in there right now. I have 3 dogs. I have a male and 2 females. And right now, one of my females is going into heat right now, so we're trying to keep them apart. I don't want no puppies right now. Okay. So now, does this fit? I wonder. Okay, it doesn't. No biggie. Guys, you don't have to go crazy with this stuff. Just give it a nice little lockdown. Nothing nuts. this here, get a little more light on the subject, guys. I don't think that'll blind you guys out. I think we'll still be okay. Alright, so the next step is we'll put these little brackets on. Make sure we got this going the right way. These little brackets are going to go right here. Watch this, guys. We're going to go on like this. And then that backbone is going to be screwed right to it like that. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just put a little bit of. And we'll drip a lock. Yep, now it doesn't want to come out. There it is. Here again, I'm not going to lock these down tight yet. I want them to wiggle still until I hook them to the backbone. Okay, guys. That way I know I got them straight. And try to use hand tools as much as you can, guys. You know, drills and power tools are okay, but when you're dealing with delicate stuff like this, that can strip real easy. It's just as easy to just use screwdrivers. Take a little extra time, but use your hand drivers. Taking stuff apart's one thing with a drill, but there again, you know, at least start it with a hand driver before you use a drill. That way you don't strip it out instantly. Now this chassis sets on top of the other plate, but that's no problem because if you notice, they put the cutout. There you go, move my finger. They put the cutout in the backbone for that extra thickness of that extra chassis piece. Okay, so now what we'll do, set this up here, give her a little spin around, and we'll start to install these ones. I want to do here. I'm going to install one on each end first. There again, not tightening that one there until I get one more in. Sorry guys, if I just hit that camera with my head. See, now that light's probably going to blind you guys out a little from up there. That's all I'm doing, guys, is just screwing them in here on the side. Okay. I've got that one on, I can lock it. I can give this one a lock on. Because, just, you know, just a little, don't go crazy with them, guys. Because I've already got the two end ones, so it's got to be right. Always use Loctite when you're doing this kind of stuff, guys. When you go on metal to metal or something like that, it's just well worth it. Especially on something like this, that you're going to try to put a lot of power and go straight, fast. You want to make sure everything's nice and tight, so you have no problems to start. So, okay. So there we are so far, guys. There's Nice and rigid now. Nice and rigid now. Compared to how it was, and like I said, you want this section here, you want this to flex. So that's perfect. Okay, so what's it say on part 2 here? Part 2 was the backbone, we did that. So part 3, they want us to install these 3 bolts. Okay. So they're calling for D2. So, D2, right here. Okay, this bag has 2 sets of different parts in there, I see. So, that says D2. This is D2A, that's steering, so we don't want that right now. We want all of this stuff right in here. I'm going to dump it on this side so I don't lose it on the floor. So here comes D2. So, calling for is two big shims in the front right here. And one shorter shim in the back. So that's going to be tipped. Okay, that's weird. See what it says. Insert 3 half-inch long screws through the front of the chassis. Install 1/8-inch spacers, longer ones on the 2 front screws, and a 30-second spacer shorter than the rear. Okay. That's what it's calling for. That's what we're going to do. So, I'll get them off on there. What is this going? Oh wait, this is going plastic, so we don't need any Loctite on these guys. This is going into plastic. That'll just be a waste. Now in that situation, if you wanted to do something, guys, and you had an issue where it kept coming apart on you, grab some of your wife, sister, mother, fingernail polish. Okay, guys? Put a little fingernail polish on the bolt while it's wet, and put it together. Then when the fingernail polish dries, it'll stick that together, and that will help hold the plastic together. If you're nervous about, that. But Loctite just does not work with plastic. But like I said, fingernail polish will work. Something I used to do. I used to do that when I was a kid all the time, especially because I never had Loctite ever. Alright, does this fit these? Just for the nope. So that's not going to fit anything. Okay. this view. That'll help you guys a little bit. The problem is it makes it so dark in here for me when I don't run that one like that. I can get away with the light with the back camera, guys, but on the front camera is where that desk light bothers me. Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. I'm getting a little better with the lighting though. I'm getting it moved around. I just got to figure out a certain style of lighting that I can use on this bench that doesn't wash everything out. Okay, this piece I'm putting on right now, guys, is going to be for your front tires. It's going to hold your front wheels, steering, all that kind of stuff. So that would be for your front steering, your wheels. This back here, this is for your servo. And your servo goes in there like this. Alright, guys. Now, what holds that down? You see there's no holes in here for it. What holds that down is they supply Servo Tape. It's just basically sticky, double-sided tape that you stick your servo and stick it down. That's how all these cars are done from RJ Speed. My other drag car, I actually bought a servo horns and put actual servo horns on it, but I didn't have to. I could have just used the sticky tape. Okay, so back to this. So now, I've done that. So, the next step, okay, next step, now these are gonna be for the hooking the wheels on. So we gotta find them. That's probably in that other bag. Yes, it is, right here. D2, the steering parts. So this other stuff that came in D2, regular D2, we don't use quite yet. Even though I can see where it's going to go, at least part of it. They want us to do this first, so we'll do this first. I won't jump ahead. So look at those little E-clips. Hate those things. That's one thing about these RJ Speed kits, guys, is the wheels are held on with the E-clips. Okay, now these. Here we go. Says thread the thin nut on each kingpin. Install the kingpin on each end of the front axle and retain each one with a lock nut. Install. So it's not calling for a washer. One sec, guys. I just want to look into the paperwork a little bit further because they're supplying me with 2 washers, which would make sense that they go with this. And they come in the front end stuff, but I want to make sure because they might go on the steering arms too. Lose those little parts. So I'm going to flip to the next page real quick. Okay, that washer is going to go on with the springs, okay? So they don't go on yet. That's why sometimes, guys, you always just want to look at your parts and then question what you're seeing. Basically, this is just pictures. They give you a little bit of writing on what you should do and pictures. So what we're going to do, come here, you. Thread this little one all the way on. I'm not Loctiting this first washer, guys. I'm not going to Loctite the other one either, just because they are nylon and I'm not going to be taking them on and off, so they should be okay with their nylocks. If I was going to take them on and off a bunch of times, then after a while I would actually put thread lock to them, even though they're nylocks. Because after you take them apart 2 or 3 times, the nylocks pretty much are just go to junk. So what we're going to do is stick this in here. We'll flip this over. We're going to add the nylock, if I can pick it up. Grab that one. Ah! They're slippery and hard to hold on to, guys. They're smooth. Alright, let me turn this light back on. Sorry, I'm going to get in the way. Now, that's alright. These ones will work. Just going to hold the shaft. Try not to mar it up. Crank this nut out. Oh, not left-handed here. I'm trying to use my left hand. Alright, I gotta switch other hands, guys. I can't do that like that. So I don't know if you might not be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay, I gotta find my other pliers here. We'll get it. Just gotta squeeze a little harder. I just don't want to mar them up. Lock this nut down. There, now put the other one in. And do the same thing on this side. Stand up a little tighter. Sorry guys, you're probably not going to be able to see what I'm doing right here. I'm going to be right in the way. Just want to make sure I get them even, guys. That's all I'm trying to do. Just lock them down like that. That's that. Just like that, guys. Which camera we have? This one here. Just like that. That's what we're working on. Shorter one in the back that gives this a little bit of a rake. That's kind of cool. So now, alright, now we're going to put together the steering blocks for the steering arms. Oh, there it is, sure. I think that's the drill bit I broke. Yes, it is. It is the drill bit I broke. Let's see how bad it is. That part's fine. I can tap that and I don't mind if that's tight. But if that's tight there and there, that means they're going to be tight on these steering blocks. Yeah. Wow. And you want that loose because these got to work up and down. This is your suspension for your front steering. That'll have a spring with it. So that's got to be able to slide up and down nicely. But you don't want to oversize it so much that it wiggles side to side either. Do the up and down. There we go. Perfect. Sorry, I keep getting my head in the way, guys. Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to put the pins in. Okay, you tap the pin through, grab an E-clip, snap it into the groove. Be very careful not to fling the E-clip across the room. I'm going to slap the pin through further, just so I have more room. Easy to get at it. Clip the E-clip on. Always, once you put them on, if you can, give them a little spin. Push the clip back in tight, okay? There's one right there, just like that. Okay, this will hook over here for your steering. This is where your wheel and tire is going to go. Okay, now just do the same to the other side. So that's going on like that. Just tap her through. A little more. Snap it on. Give it a little spin, make sure it's on. again. So it looks like the next step. Drop back here. What? Put the nut on first. Wow. Now I'm trying to get that little bad boy started. Sorry guys, I keep getting my head in the way. Well, it started, just didn't, there it goes. I had a bad thread or something, it was started, I just didn't want to turn. Okay, so it's calling for that. It looks like this washer here. Okay, so the servo's going that side. Alright. That's what they're calling for. Yes. Then we got this little rubber grommet. It's got a little nipple on the bottom. And that's to line up in this hole, I believe, yes, to help hold that up straight like that, see? Then, put the lock nut on it again. What this is going to do, guys, this is going to steer your wheels. So you don't want that locked super tight. You want it left just a little loose. Okay, and that's touching that nut. So that means I got to turn that nut just a little bit more. Just working on this little butterfly right here, guys. This is going to be like this, and that's what's going to be hooked to your wheels. It's going to turn these. So now they want us to connect these. So one end's going to go in here. Stop. Be good now. suspension together. Yep. Now with an E-clip again. Okay, hold on a sec. Gotta get back away. My fingers get in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. Always give them a turn, guys, to make sure they're in. Always. Because these things like to fly off. Trust me on that. If you don't have them quite right. So I learned, always give them a little spin. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just putting a spring and then a washer and then this little E-clip. That's what holds them together, guys, okay? That's why I said we wanted these to fit right, because see, this is gonna bounce. These are made to bounce up and down. So you need a bump. They go up, but you want them to return also back down. Perfectly. See, up and down. I gotta stop putting my head out of the way. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so now what you do? These are tiny, but it's no big deal because they gave us the Allen wrenches, remember, guys? That's a 1.5 bit. These must be a 1 Allen wrench. Now you do the same thing here, guys. Peg in, turn it. Now what these are going to do, long. Might have to trim them. Awful long. Oh. I'm going to go in underneath with it, guys. That's what I'm thinking. That way they line up. And then all you're going to do is just slide that little sleeve we just put on there over the two rods. Just like that. And then you're just going to tighten them up. Roughly line everything up roughly where it needs to go. I said, once you get your tires and wheels on there, you'll have to fine tune it anyways. Okay, it looks like those rods are going to have to be shortened. Because I can't... Well, maybe. Let me try something here. These rods cut very hard, too. So if you don't have to shorten them, it's Better not to. Let me see. I can get it to slide under that. Alright. Nice. I can't get the wrench out. There we go. Just trying to center everything out, guys, best I can right now. Yeah, I don't like that. There we go. Get it on top like that. There. I like that better. Okay. Now you do the same to the other side. Coming up through the bottom. Stick it in. Give it a little twist. And on one. I like to get them rods up on top if I can. Spin this around for a second, guys, just so I can work on it. There we go. Sometimes it's hard trying to keep everything on camera when you gotta do certain things. Oh, it moved. Come on, really? No, it didn't. That ain't too bad. Now, this piece will screw on here the way it's supposed to now. There we go. That's what's going to hold your body down, guys. That little peg. There we go. So now that's how that front's supposed to be. Obviously, this is going to go this way to the steering servo. Alright? And then that's going to steer your front end. I got a little hit right there on that nut. So we'll be filing that down just a little bit. I'll just file that little edge down a little bit here later, and we won't have an issue with that. Okay. All that stuff out of the way. These are an O-ring tire, guys. O-ring goes on. without trying to roll it too much. These are all bushings, guys. You can buy bearing kits for these. You can get bearings for them. Really? Ooh. Dropping it. Wow. They're going hard, but normally they don't go in that hard. Gonna get it to sit flat so I can tap it. There we go. There. And that'll just slide right on. Wow, ain't them tight. I don't like that. I don't like how tight those are. They don't even want to slide on. You shouldn't have to drill your bearings out. Wow. Yeah, them go on tight, guys. Tight, tight, tight. Okay, I had a bag here that I had for steer caps here. There'll be two little clips in here. Right here. Same thing, those little E-clips. That's what holds your tires and wheels on. These little E-clips. So that's simple, guys. It's just all about taking your time, being patient, especially working with this smaller stuff. Doesn't hurt to step back for a minute and study it, think about it. I'm going to pound these in like I'm doing here. I'm just pounding these in on the table, guys, using my bench. Just want to make sure you get them on there nice and square before you start pounding them, okay? So I can't do it on here, it's foam. I gotta do it over here. Sorry, guys. That's that. That one went on nice. That other side, just sure that shaft or the hole on the other one is either smaller or the shaft is just slightly bigger on that side. So that's the front end, guys, right there. Like I said, I'll have to, well, I don't know, that looks pretty close. I don't think I'll have to adjust anything on it. Oh, that's awesome. I got some sound effects, guys. Look, we got the wheels on now. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I knew you'd like that. Thank you. I'm so corny, I know, guys. Just having a good time. Alright, I'm going to put these things back in here if I lose them. Now this is the rest of the pieces to finish the steering. I'm going to drop the wrench right in there with them too. And that's the front end, guys, right there. She's going to be low. Oh yeah, she is going to be low. The back's going to be up a lot higher. That is going to be so cool. That's why that front's tipped, because the back's going to be up so high. They want to level that off. I get it. Alright, I got you now. That's pretty sweet. So guys, that's the front end and part of the chassis build. That was going to end part 2 here. And stay tuned for part 3. We'll throw the rear end part on and the back tires. And put the body mounts and stuff to her. And then all we'll have left to do is the motor stuff and wiring. So until then, we'll catch y'all later. Hope you had a good time.